establish a prevention and early action hub. I use deliberately the word hub because I really don't want to give the impression that it's going to be a superstructure of more bureaucracy. It's going to be drawing in the knowledge and wisdom of the House, and it is intended to be a 24/7 task force that would use the analytical capacity, the prospective capacity of the House, the ability to identify red flags and early warning, to inform and advise the Secretary General on time so she can act and respond early. And when she acts and responds early, obviously it's for the Secretary General to immediately advise and inform member states, in particular the members of the Security Council, but also to exercise and respond immediately and on time with shuttle diplomacy. And I am a big believer of shuttle diplomacy, of being there, foot on the ground, before crises occur and crises become catastrophes with no return. So this is going to be an installed capacity in my office with the existing resources, but operating in emergency mode 24/7. And I think the world of today really needs that. Your second question was regarding the issue of how to bring together the three pillars. The delivering as one. When I was ambassador here, it was the moment of the one UN and delivering as one. But I think we need to do more work on that. We need more consistency, more coherence, a culture of cooperation within the UN system. We need the right incentives to evaluate the effectiveness of our work on not how much a particular agency has fundraised or the head of such agency and country team has appeared in the newspaper of the day. I have also experience on that, is how many lives we have saved, how many children we have protected, how much we have helped a country to strengthen their planning capacity. These are the right incentives to really delivering as one. For that, we need to change something that is very difficult but not impossible. Having reformed the armed forces of my country, I can tell you, which is the institutional culture. When I have time, I would like to share some of my thinking about how to deal with accountability and better monitoring and evaluation for the House, because I ran out of time. But excellent questions. Thank you to Benelux.
Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the next civil society organization, Medical Impact. Please, you have the floor.
Chair, Ms. Espinosa, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and colleagues. My name is Armando Acolsi from Mexico, and I have been following global policy from the very front lines we work in with Medical Impact, helping connect the voiceless to this space of decision-making. In this context, informal consultation of the negotiation of the United Nations, political declaration and ministerial declarations are formally limited to the participation of member states, resulting in the structural exclusion of civil society voices from these processes. Ms. Espinosa, if elected Secretary General, what measures would you propose to ensure that civil society organizations with consultative status are able to meaningfully contribute to the such informal consultations while preserving the intergovernmental nature of the negotiations?
Thank you. Please.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much for that question. I think I see the role of civil society as fundamental to the work of the organization. Civil society not only as with the responsibility to do oversight, to monitor and ensure that the UN implements its commitments, and the Secretariat has also to be accountable to the people it serves, so in terms of monitoring and oversight, but also a wealth of intellect, of first-hand experience, of contributing to the substance, advising, the work of the organization, as you said very well, preserving the intergovernmental nature of the United Nations. So welcome for the interest. I think civil society has also a very important role to play in responding to the question of FOS, of the Small Island States Forum, in translating the work of the UN to civil society. You have to be ambassadors and interpreters of the work of the organization to the outside world and the communities you work with. So absolutely important. I have seen the enormous constructive role of civil society, for example, in the process of the negotiation of the Pact of the Future, following the negotiations on climate, the role, the voice of civil society has always been extremely important, and it will continue to be. Of course, intergovernmental negotiations and the role each government provides to civil society is in the hands of member states.
Thank you. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Palau on behalf of the Alliance of Small Island States, followed by St. Kitts and Nevis and Andorra.
Madam President, thank you for convening this important dialogue, and I thank Madam Espinosa for your interaction with us today. I have the honor to speak on behalf of the 39 members of the Alliance of Small Island States, AOSIS. As a group of countries in special situations, the credibility of the United Nations lies in its ability to respond to the unique circumstances of SIDS, correct long-standing inequities, and deliver results for the most vulnerable. In this regard, allow me to pose the following questions. First, how will you, as Secretary General, ensure that the United Nations is more accessible, better coordinated, and tailored to the unique vulnerabilities of SIDS to better and more meaningfully support the full implementation of the Antigua and Barbuda Agenda for SIDS? Second, how will you use your leadership to accelerate global ambition and action on climate change, particularly to keep 1.5 within reach, and while ensuring that SIDS receive scaled up, predictable and accessible finance for adaptation, mitigation, and loss and damage in line with international commitments? And finally, what specific measures will you take to improve on the underrepresentation of SIDS within the United Nations Secretariat, especially at senior leadership levels? And how will you strengthen the pathways for SIDS nationals to shape decision-making across the United Nations? Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of Palau on behalf of the Alliance of Small Island States, please.
Thank you to Palau for the questions on behalf of the SIDS. Basically, how would I